For days there was one question that refused to disappear. Not because anyone at Buckingham Palace answered it. Not because the Duke or Duchess of Sussex addressed it. But because every new headline seemed to raise another mystery, instead of providing clarity. Prince Harry had returned to the United Kingdom, yet almost nothing about the visit felt routine. The schedule was public, the appearances were expected, and still, something about the atmosphere surrounding the trip felt noticeably different. Why were familiar royal traditions missing? Why did every development seem to trigger another wave of speculation? And why were royal commentators saying this visit revealed more about the future of the monarchy than anyone initially realized? To understand why this story captured so much attention, you have to rewind to the moment Harry and Meghan stepped away from royal duties in 2020. Their departure wasn't just another royal headline, it marked one of the biggest shifts the monarchy had experienced in decades. Since then, every return to Britain has been viewed through an entirely different lens. This latest visit was no exception. Officially, Harry travelled to take part in engagements connected to the Invictus Games, a project he has championed for years. Supporters praised his continued commitment to wounded veterans and service personnel. Yet outside those appearances, another conversation quickly took over. Where would he stay? Who would meet him? And would this visit signal any thaw in the long-running tensions with the royal family? The questions multiplied because recent years have been marked by interviews, documentaries, memoirs, and legal disputes that dramatically reshaped public perceptions of the royal family. Every appearance now carries more weight than it once did. Then another development shifted the conversation. Harry suffered a legal setback after the High Court dismissed his privacy lawsuit against Associated Newspapers, the publisher of the Daily Mail, bringing an unexpected turn to one of the cases that had attracted significant public attention. Suddenly, what had started as a routine working visit became something much bigger. Commentators debated whether the ruling would influence Harry's future legal strategy. Others wondered whether it would affect his relationship with Britain itself. Still others argued it changed nothing at all. The remarkable part wasn't simply the court decision, it was how quickly it became intertwined with every other royal discussion taking place at the same time. Then came another twist. Reports surrounding accommodation reignited a familiar debate. Ever since Harry and Meghan vacated Frogmore Cottage, questions have surrounded where the Duke stays during visits to Britain. Although accommodation might sound like a minor logistical issue, royal observers often interpret it as symbolic. Does location suggest closeness, distance, or simply practicality? The palace offered little public commentary, leaving room for endless interpretation. That silence proved powerful. In the absence of official explanations, every photograph, every arrival, and every departure became material for analysis across television panels, newspapers, podcasts, and social media. And that's where this story became less about one visit and more about perception. Supporters argued Harry continues fulfilling meaningful charitable work, despite constant scrutiny. Critics questioned whether reconciliation with the royal family remains possible after years of public disagreements. Neither side seemed willing to change its position. Yet perhaps the most interesting aspect wasn't the disagreement itself. It was the fact that interest in Harry's relationship with the monarchy remains remarkably strong years after his departure from official royal duties. Even relatively ordinary developments now generate worldwide discussion. That level of attention says something about the enduring fascination surrounding the House of Windsor. Meanwhile, King Charles continues balancing constitutional responsibilities while undergoing cancer treatment. Prince William remains increasingly central to the monarchy's public role, and the institution itself continues adapting to changing expectations. Against that backdrop, every move Harry makes inevitably becomes part of a much larger conversation. Not necessarily because each event is historic, but because people view it through the history that's already been written. Perhaps that's why this latest trip sparked so many debates. Some viewers saw distance. Others saw hope. Still others saw two entirely separate lives that may never fully reconnect. The truth is that very few people outside the family know what private conversations, if any, continue behind palace walls. Public appearances only reveal part of the picture. The rest remains hidden. And maybe that's why these stories continue to resonate. Not because every rumor proves true. Not because every headline changes history. But because the unanswered questions have become part of the story itself. Whether reconciliation eventually happens, or whether the divide simply becomes permanent, remains something only time can answer. Until then, every visit, every statement, and every unexpected development will likely be examined far beyond the event itself. Sometimes the biggest royal story isn't the one that's confirmed. It's the one everyone is still trying to understand.